Hi, Mojismo Eugene, and welcome to another video from Exit Strategy. Please like, subscribe, share the video if you found it helpful, give it a thumbs up, and pass it on if you believe someone else will benefit from it. I would appreciate that. Hope everybody is doing very well today. I'm doing great. I want to talk to you guys about what I had told you I would talk about once I had gotten some more study on it, which is the shadow work. And I'm actually experiencing a lot of that right now. That is a big reason why I've gone into isolation in many ways. I go out and about and do my regular business, but this isolation really has more to do with using my time, the time in alone, in ways that work specifically, rigorously on the shadow. And we all have a shadow, and that is a lot of times the undealt with traumas and experiences that we've lived through in our childhood up until this point. So the shadow is a part of us that we hide or we push down, because that's an area of life that in this world that we've been conditioned in to go along, to get along, do the right thing, this, that, and the other. So we call it the matrix, but the shadow is pretty much when we have fears, insecurities, doubts, and different things like that. And they are not all bad. It's not all bad, because these things are very needed and necessary to be conscious of, to understand that we are a whole person. We're never all those good things all the time. We have a lot of undealt with things in our life that we sometimes push to the side, and we chase things as far as success, accomplishments, and we find these gratifications in friends and circles and groups, to the point where it basically these are just things we do to take our mind off of the not so good areas of our life. And so going into the shadow work of self is when you start unearthing these things, you confront these things. Here, you just begin to think about these things, and you confront them in a way where you don't want to dismiss them anymore. You want to process them, and then you want to inevitably come to a point in your healing where you begin to be okay with these things. You accept them as they are. You continue to go on with your life in a way where you are a whole person. Now you've come to a point where you've transitioned from a part self, and now this is the whole self. You have a whole indication of who you are as a person. Before that, everyone on planet Earth are wearing masks. I know we like to talk about the narcissist has a mask on, but we all have a mask, and it's a mask of persona. This mask for empaths and chosen ones, if you're not a narcissist, your mask is conditioned and contingent on how we are seen and perceived in the world, and by our friends, family, loved ones, acquaintances, etc., etc. So in order to meet the cut, or make the cut in society and go along to get along, and to be able to actually coexist in circles and different capacities, we do what you call, we mask up. We mask up in order to facilitate how we're received. And so when you're doing the shadow work, and a lot of times it's called shadow integration, and once an empath, an awakened empath, goes into a healing phase of what we call integration, shadow integration, you're integrating all the things that I just spoke of in conjunction with the things that you have lived on the other side of that spectrum. And so these things culminate together and come together in a beautiful way for you to understand yourself individually. That's what individuation involves too. Not worrying about who hurt you, how they hurt you, how they caused you to lose this, lose that. You would have been better off if you had not met them. If it hadn't been for them, you'd been further ahead, da, 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 da. Individuation is basically looking at your life as it is now, in the present, in the moment, as to how you want to move forward for your benefit and your well-being. And it involves all those other things I just mentioned. And it's a deep work that is not a speed race, it's not a competition. It's going to be a lot of solitude here that will be accomplished from this. If you are serious and sincere about abandoning all of the things outside of self and work on the inner self. And this is a spiritual journey too. It's very spiritual. You've heard the commercial, mind is a terrible thing to waste. They used to have a commercial about that. And so the Bible even speaks of being of a sound mind, sober mind. And sober, a lot of times people get that confused with not being intoxicated or influenced by any illicit drugs. Sober simply means be of a clear mind, a mind that is untainted and uncongested with things without. To have a clear flow of where you're going, how you're going to get there, and have some idea of how this all is supposed to unfold. And it doesn't involve people helping you get there at all. This is why it's called individuation. And you're going to lose friends. You're going to actually, when I say lose friends, you will become most often friendless. You will not have any friends because you don't want people around you per se, or you don't want friends per se. This is what's going to come along with that, with the territory, because now you're able to see things as they are. You're no more living in an illusion. And so when you go around people who you've been around in times past, they're going to sense, feel, and observe that change. And that change is going to make them very uncomfortable, whether you speak or not. You can be silent. Even that is going to cause them to take a step back, mentally. And it's going to cause them to be very inquisitive, to which you're not going to be able to answer. Any answer you give them is not going to make any sense to them. So it will be a futile effort there. And so on your side of that, you don't, it is just something you can't, it's hard to tolerate being in circles that you've been in before, because you are a walking radar. Almost like a drone. If some drones have this object deterrent when they get near objects, I have a drone. I don't have that feature on mine. So I have to be very conscious of whether I get near a tree or whatnot. But you understand what I'm saying? It automatically keeps its distance away from any potential danger or object, which I would say a dangerous object that would cause it to fall out of the sky. And that's simply what you are as an awakened empath who's done that shadow work, who's done the introspection and the individualization and different things that involve getting to know who you are deep down and dirty. At first, it's going to be a little bit uncomfortable. Actually, it's going to be uncomfortable. I don't know how uncomfortable for you, but it's going to be very uncomfortable, unnerving, because it's something that's unfamiliar to you. So be patient with yourself. Be kind to yourself. Like I said, it's not a race. It's not a competition. Healing is not linear, I've been told. So when you begin to arrive at this point of healing, you're going to see that these people that you've been around before, you're going to not deserve